This is Fitness Splinter's butt and thigh bar workout. In this quick workout, we're going to be doing 5 exercises, 10 repetitions per exercise. You're not going to need any equipment except for an optional high back chair, countertop, or railing. Alright, let's go and get started with our 10 standing leg curls. Starting with that left leg first, curl that heel up towards your butt. Nice tight squeeze the top of that range of motion, then slowly back down, barely tap that toe to the ground, and then pull it right back up again. Nice tight squeeze. Make sure you keep that back nice and straight. You don't over-rotate those hips. You want to keep everything neutral through that spine. Just keep it going, keeping those lungs open. Got about 4 repetitions left. Keep it going, nice tight squeeze. Make sure you're contracting all the rest of those muscles through your body as well. One more. And let it relax. Let's go ahead and switch sides. We're going to do the same exact thing on the opposite side. So on that right side, again, slowly curl that heel up to your butt. Nice tight squeeze the top of that range of motion. Slowly back down, barely tap that toe to the ground, and then right back up again. Keep all those muscles through your body nice and tense. Make sure those arms are contracted as well. You want to get a little extra calorie burn out of this. Don't make just those arms or just those legs do the work. You want those arms to do the work as well. Got about 4 repetitions left. Two more. And here's your last one right here. Nice tight squeeze the top of that range of motion and let it relax. We're going to go on to another exercise. Our next one is going to be 10 supported single leg deadlifts. So use that bar to slowly support yourself as you drop forward. You want to hinge at your hip only. Nice and slow. Come right back up again. Barely tap that toe again. Slowly back down. You want to keep a straight line from your shoulder all the way down to that left ankle. Only hinging at that right hip. You don't want to let that lower back round at all. Keep those lungs open. Make sure all those muscles are contracted through that core. Those abdominal muscles, those obliques, the lower back, everything needs to be nice and tight. Got 4 more repetitions. Two more repetitions, and then we're going to do a 10-second hold. One left, then drop it down, hold it. You're going to freeze it right there. 10-second rest. Sorry, 10-second hold. Five seconds. And let it relax. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side, so go ahead and switch it around. Again, nice straight back. Keeping that straight line through that body from that torso all the way down to that leg on that right leg this time. Slowly tipping over, try to get as much range of motion as you can. Try not to bend that left knee. You want to try to keep that knee as straight as you can. Just as much range of motion as possible without putting too much pressure, too much stretch on that hamstring. Again, keep that back nice and straight, keeping all those muscles nice and tensed. Got 4 more repetitions. Again, go through, check, make sure all those muscles are nice and tense through that upper body as well as those legs. 2 more repetitions, then we're going to do that pause. Here's your last one. Drop it down and freeze it. We got a 10-second pause. Hold it right here. Try to balance. 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it relax. All right, let's move on to our next one. We're gonna be doing 10 outside thigh raises. So again, using that bar for support, just slowly bring that leg up and out to the side. Get a nice tight squeeze to the outside thigh. Just make sure you don't let your upper body tip over sideways. You want to try to keep your spine perfectly straight up and down. Try not to rotate those hips too much. You just want all that range of motion coming from that hip joint itself and that leg. You don't want any motion through your hips. Nice, slow, controlled motion. Breathing normally. Make sure those lungs stay open. You don't want to hold your breath. Keep those upper body muscles nice and tense. Get a little extra calorie burn out of it, a little more toning. Just one more, then we do 10 pulses. Up the very top, freeze it up there, short pulses at the very top of that range of motion. Nice tight squeeze, just a couple of inches, the very top. Just try to push up as high as you can. Again, don't let those hips rotate. Very good. Let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. Same thing on the other side. Keep that right leg nice and straight. Again, keep that torso straight up and down. Don't let those hips rotate. You want to try to keep those hips as level as possible. Just focus on rotating that leg or lifting that leg from that hip joint rather than rotating those hips to lift that leg. Just keep that motion going. Again, keep those lungs open. Breathing normally. Make sure you're keeping all those muscles to your upper body nice and tense. Burn those calories. And freeze it. Hold it up there. 10 pulses at the top. Nice tight squeeze. Really push those muscles. Make sure you get a nice burn on it. And let it relax. We'll do a front leg raise next. Another 10 repetitions. Holding onto that bar, nice and slow. Bring that left leg up. Tight squeeze the top of that range of motion. Try to keep that leg as straight as you can. Again, keep that torso nice and straight up and down. You want to keep that spine as neutral as possible. Don't lift that leg any higher than you can control. Make sure that you keep that leg straight and you don't lean backwards. You want to keep your torso straight up and down the entire time. Check to make sure those muscles to your leg are nice and tensed on both legs. Make sure that upper body's nice and tensed and those lungs stay open. And freeze the top, short pulses, 10 pulses at the top of that range of motion. Tight squeeze, try to keep that leg as straight as you can. Keep that chest tilted forward. Let's go ahead and switch on the other side. Same exact motion, nice and slow, lift that leg straight up in front of you. Keep that leg as straight as possible, that back nice and straight. Don't lean back as you lift that leg. Making sure you're getting as much range of motion as possible, as much as is comfortable for you. Again, make sure those legs are nice and tense, to make sure those muscles are contracted through those legs as well as that upper body. Got 2 more repetitions until we do our pulses. And as a last one, bring that leg up, 10 pulses at the top of that range of motion. Tight, tight squeeze. Again, don't lean back. Try to keep that chest forward, nice flat back. Try to keep that leg as straight as you can. Tight squeeze. Let it relax. All right, let's go and move on to our last exercise. It's going to be 10 reverse leg raises. So when you bring that leg back behind you, this is a very, very limited range of motion, so don't try to overdo it. You don't want to rotate your hips. You don't want to bend that lower back. You want to try to keep that spine as straight as possible, as neutral as possible. It's going to rotate a little bit on you, but try not to overdo that range of motion. It's just a tight squeeze back behind you with that glute, that butt muscle, then slowly let it back down, let that toe barely touch the floor, and then squeeze it right back up again. Keep those lungs open, make sure you're breathing normally. As a last one, 10 pulses to the top. Nice tight squeeze. Again, try not to over-rotate those hips. Try to keep that torso straight up and down. And let it relax. Let's go move over to the other side. This is our last one. Slowly bring that leg back behind you. Tight squeeze again. Slowly back down. Tap that toe. Right back up again. Check that back, make sure you're not leaning forward, make sure you're not arching that lower back too much. Just a nice tight squeeze, getting up as high as is comfortable. Remember, this is a really limited range of motion, so don't try to overdo it. Check those muscles through those legs, make sure all of them are tensed out, nice and tight. Make sure that upper body is contracted as well. You want to burn those calories as much as possible. Get a little extra tone out of it when you contract those other muscles that aren't necessarily having to work. And freeze it, short pulse at the top of that range of motion. Tight squeeze. And let it relax. Nicely done. This workout is complete.